All right. So
Well,
a couple more quarterback issues before we move on to I love Ann Arbor. So they were you talk about a guy not being the guy for a franchise, for the fan base, or even for the football alums. Man, Zach Wilson. Hey
nothing
man,
bad.
they have been all over this dude.
Yeah,
He actually played well.
Yeah.
Daniel. He went out against the Chiefs, and it was like, well, that's why he was number two.
Yeah.
That's why he was the second pick,
He's making
right?
plays.
no, I
He was
cheered
making
for.
plays, man.
I cheered for him a little bit when he was out there making plays after play. He kept making good throws. At one point, he put together a couple back shoulder throws that were really nice.
Yeah.
I was kind of found myself almost clapping for him because he's been taking a beating, right? It's like one of those things where, like, hey, man, you got to get off the mat and answer the bell at some point. If this is what you, like you said, number 2 pick in the draft, this is what you do. You got to get off the mat and answer the bell at some point. I think he did that for the most part. You know, he had the crucial fumble, but man, I know, like I said, I felt myself feeling pretty happy, feeling pretty good for him the way he played.
I did too, Devin. I don't know the job. I hate Aaron Rodgers, so that made me by extension not want the Jets to do well, right? But I found myself rooting for this dude because literally everybody is against him. You got guys, you got his receivers messing with him on the side, up in his face on the sideline. You got other players, defensive players, kind of talking about. And then you got Joe Namath, talking about him from the
Joe
sideline.
Namath ain't hold no tongue, man. He is
right.
Now that's the type of comments that should make you that as mad as the coach in Ohio. Those comments that Joe Namath was making, those are the disrespectful ones. Like, get this dude out of here. He's garbage. Get him out of here.
Which brings us to, and then the commentators taking liberties. He can't do it. He's a bust already. Like, everybody is literally against this guy. He comes out and plays that way. But then even after he comes out and shows some promise, Ben, do you have the Rodney Harrison? So Rodney Harrison after the game was interviewing Chris Jones. Chris Jones got his extension. I was holding out hope that the Lions would be able to, get a trade in there. That didn't happen. He back with the Chiefs, right? So Rodney Harrison is doing the interview, and he's asking Chris Jones about it. So here it is right here. Let's hear this real quick.
Was Zach better tonight than what you anticipated he would be watching him on tape? And you could be honest. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, we knew it was going to be a battle. He's continuing to get better week in and week out, and he's continued to lead week in and week out. But watching that tape, man, you got to look at this dude and say, "Oh, he is garbage."
So all right, you can take it. You can take it off. You can take it off, Ben. Man, commentators don't typically do that.
I wish I had more hands, because I would give that take 4 thumbs down. I wish I had more hands. That was so weak, Sam. When I tell you, when I saw it, I said, is he serious? And first, you see kind of smirking, smiling at the beginning of the first question, because he's trying to get Jones to say something, right? He's trying to get into whatever viral moment, whatever. Okay, he don't take the bait. And you're going to double down and try to, you know what I mean? And it's just like, as a former athlete, I get it. Do your job, right? Do your job. And that position right there, he's not on a talk show right now. He's an analyst, right? So you need to analyze the game. What did the game tell you? The game told you he got down on the Chiefs. And outplayed with the best quarterback, in my opinion, in history of football, probably, right? And Patrick Mahomes, most talented, right? And so for him to, first, I see the first one. All right, maybe he'll say something crazy. These athletes to say something crazy, you will get some clicks, whatever. But to double down and then call this grown man garbage, I just don't understand what like, you don't understand he a man. And like, what if he got down? Like, what if he rolled up on you like, all right, dog, like, you know what I mean? You can't just talk crazy about, and not to mention he played good, right? He played good in the game. And so I as a former athlete, and you see all the athletes right now coming out like, oh yeah, that's a sucker move. Like, that was completely weak. I don't understand what his goal was. And it's like, I don't know, maybe he thought, let's get on the train and people will like me more because I'm on a train too of hating Zach Wilson. But that ain't how the world works, man. And I just think it was a weak, extremely capital letter weak move.
You feel like, Daniel, the former athletes, it's almost like because they are former athletes, feel like they could take more liberties. When I think it would be the other way around. I would think
Tom Brady was your quarterback.
They would be more understanding. Right. So, I mean, this seemed like one of those times where Rodney Harrison was like, I can say this because I used to play.
Yeah, it's a complete lack of respect, right? Like one guy looks at it like this guy hasn't done anything, and I was this as a player, and I can look back on my career and say, so they take liberties. Shaq kind of does it in basketball as well when he sees like a big man or somebody like he did with JaVale McGee. Like certain guys, they at some point when they feel like a guy isn't living up to the standard that they expect the NFL to be or what they expect that position, they kind of take liberties with you. And whether it's not fair, it's not cool, and it shows a little bit of insecurity on Rodney Harrison's part, but at the same time, hey, Zach Wilson, you the quarterback for a New York franchise.
I think the Shaq thing a little different. Because first of all, it was kind of funny. And JaVale McGee was doing wild stuff. Like Zach Wilson not just doing wild, goofy stuff. He's just not performing to the level of maybe you expect him to perform, right? But when you look at this year alone, he beat the Bills. Outplayed in a game he didn't think he was supposed to play, and he just outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Right? How many games did he play? 4 or 5? So half of the time in this season, he's played well with all the scrutiny, with all the people hating on him and all that. So I think that's different. JaVale McGee put together quite the highlight tape of lowlights of just doing silly stuff. He was doing crazy stuff. Now, Shaq took it a little too far, right? And it got kind of personal, whatever. But at the basis of it, it's like, man, you being goofy. Like he was being goofy. But this guy had, like, what is your deal? Like, why would you attack this man after he just played good? I can see, like, Shaq ain't never attacked JaVale McGee after he had 20 and 17.
Yeah. No, do y'all think the teammates on the sideline do it with the antics when Zach Wilson doesn't play well? Do y'all think that helps or lends like it gives other people like the that helps them feel better about attacking them? Because I think as a teammate, I hate seeing that. Like when he misses a throw and Garrett Wilson gets up and he's all animated. I'm like, man, like you're gonna drop passes, you're gonna miss blocks. So I think as a team, I think if they cut out some of that, I think some of the scrutiny on Zach Wilson to slow down.
You're right.
Yeah, he gonna complete the next one because you just got in his face. Like,
but you got to remember, Garrett Wilson also is young, and he thought he was about to play Aaron Rodgers, so he's still a little emotional. He want to cry every day. He probably cry every time when he go home. Like, oh my,
hey man,
this year.
I found myself to that point though. I found myself saying, where's the veteran on this team? Like, hey man, y'all need to chill out.
They're young. They all young. It was Aaron.
This is who we have. This is the guy we have. So we got to do what we can do to help him be better. You're not helping him be better right now.
And I think Aaron Rodgers was a big part of why he played so good because he gave us kind of a speech like that to the team, right? Him being there, I think, gave a lot of comfort to Zach Wilson to go out there and really ball. So, who knows moving forward what they can be.
Yeah, a locker room or any place of business, when you around a lot of different people, you got the foxhole people and then you got everybody else. Yeah. It's not that many foxhole people. It's not that many people that are comfortable under fire. And so you need the foxhole people to keep everybody else calm. Yeah. And sound like Aaron Rodgers, as much as I don't like the dude, at least in this instance, was a foxhole guy. But I like it when the athletes don't make it like he just, like you went out of your way to try to make this dude look bad after he played well. Like if he plays well, give him credit for playing well.
Analyze, right?
Yeah, I like Charles Bright. Like Charles, I had him on the show with Tim McCormick, the Basketball Insider, which is going to come back. We've had some great guests. Tim said he's going to give me Isaiah Thomas. Like, oh man, we got to do another season just for that, right? But he brought Charles on, and Charles like, man, I don't hold my tongue. I tell them what I think. They could tell me what they think about what I said, but I'm gonna always be fair. I'm gonna give him credit, and I'm gonna criticize. That's what I like about Charles. Like, if he says he's wrong about something, he'll let you come on and talk about it. If he's joking, he'll let you joke him back. Some of these dudes are too sensitive in that regard, right? So I like it when an athlete hears something and then he goes and gives it back to him and kind of let them know, and then they take it well. So that's what happened with Jared Goff. I don't know if you guys saw this. Ben, can you? So they were talking about Jared Goff. The regard that we have for Jared Goff is not the regard that they have for him around the league. For
nobody,
reasons I don't know. Nobody
has that regard.
Yeah, you talked about it. He took a team to the Super Bowl. This is what you said, Devin. He was #1 pick, like you said, Daniel. And let they talk about him like he's this bum, like he's a dude, right? So Ryan Fitzpatrick said something about him being a poor man's. He's a poor man's. Who's
Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan. He's a poor man's Matt Ryan. So Jared Goff goes out. Yeah, he throws a pick against Green Bay, but he plays a really good game otherwise, right? The Lions go in Lambeau and put him down. And so now he's on the set with Ryan Fitzpatrick and all them after the game. And then let me hear this real quick.
Thought I played better throughout the rest of the game. Hope it's up to your standards.
You played a lot. Okay. You played very well, dog.
Okay.
We're very happy.
I didn't know it was a poor man's anything, but
he hears that. He's listening.
I heard about it.
Call him out there, Dick. Andrew.
Hey, man. Hey, right? Don't you? Nah, if you didn't have respect.
Matt Ryan's a hell of a player.
I told him.
I'm giving you a hard time. I appreciate it, man.
All right, so let's go ahead and get that off the screen. See, I like that about Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
I like that about Ryan Fitzpatrick because he was like, he didn't get in his feelings. He's like, I said it. I said it. My bad. My bad. You went out there, ball. And Matt Ryan was a good player. You could have said he's a lot like Matt Ryan. Did Matt Ryan? Well, I mean, did Matt Ryan?
But I'm saying you Matt Ryan, but like much less.
Right. But last I checked, we both went to the Super Bowl and lost. Right. We both went to the Super Bowl. We both lost. So why am I the poor man's guy? Why am I not that guy? Right. So I give Jared Goff a whole lot of credit for standing up for himself. And like I said, he's elevating this team.